decision by Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert to step down amid corruption allegations has left many questions in Israel and in the region. There are two main contenders to replace Olmert as leader of the Kadima party. The frontrunner, Tzipi Livni, is a former Mossad operative and current foreign minister. She was a protege of Ariel Sharon in the Likud and jumped with him to Kadima when it was formed. Her main Kadima rival is Shaul Mofaz, a hawkish former general and current transportation minister. The Iranian-born Mofaz is famous for his ruthless crushing of the Palestinian uprising in Jenin and other West Bank towns in 2000. Livni is favored in opinion polls by 8 to 18 points to win the Kadima leadership. Calls have come from Israeli opposition leader Benjamin Netanyahu of Likud for a general election. The elections would probably come in February or March, which would see Olmert remain prime minister till then. Netanyahu was prime minister from 1996 to 1999. A hardliner who does not believe in land for peace, he is in favor of more West Bank settlements and calls Israel's recent meetings with Syria groveling. Ehud Barak, leader of the Israeli Labour Party, part of the ruling coalition with Kadima, will also be in the running. Barak is a former general and was prime minister from 1999 to 2001. As the current defense minister, Barak said that Israel will return to its pattern of airstrikes to crush Hamas in Gaza, despite the month-long truce. A recent poll by Israel's Channel 10 shows Netanyahu as the most preferred leader with 36%, Tzipi Livni with 24.6%, Ehud Barak with 11.9%, and none of the above with 19%. Surveys by Israel's three major newspapers show that Likud would win an early parliamentary election over Kadima. Yedioth Aharonoth give Netanyahu's Likud 30 seats out of 120, compared to 29 for Livni's Kadima. Haaretz had Netanyahu with 25 and Livni slightly ahead with 26 seats. And Daily Mariv put Netanyahu clearly ahead, showing that if elections were to be held today, Likud would get 33 seats and Livni at the head of Kadima taking only 20 seats. What this could mean for the stalled peace process with the Palestinians will depend mostly on the next U.S. president, whether Barack Obama or John McCain. But on the question of Iran, there is still the fear that Israel might act unilaterally. Though many analysts say an attack on Iran could push oil prices to $300 a barrel or more, and IAEA chief Mohammed al-Baradei has said that an attack on Iran would turn the region into a fireball, U.S. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Admiral Michael Mullen, in a pointed rebuke of Israeli hawks, has also warned against military action.
From the United States perspective, the United States military perspective in particular, that opening up a third front right now would be extremely stressful on us.
Recent comments from the four possible future Israeli prime ministers might seem to reinforce what investigative reporter Seymour Hersh wrote in The New Yorker last month, that an attack on Iran could come before the end of U.S. President George W. Bush's term next January. Netanyahu ominously told CNN last year, it's 1938 and Iran is Germany. Labor leader Ehud Barak in Washington last week insisted that pressure on Iran must be maintained.
The time is still for accelerating a sanctions regime, but that ultimately no option could be removed from the table.
Tzipi Livni, speaking to CNN's Wolf Blitzer on Sunday, also talked about maintaining a hard line with Iran.
We need to understand that we need to act today in terms of sanctions. Sanctions can be effective as long as the Iranians and the entire world understand that all the options are on the table. This is what we need to do today. We cannot postpone it. We cannot wait for the Iranians to decide whether they are willing to talk with the international community. And the message coming from the Iranian is clear. Sanctions are needed today.
And Shaul Mofaz, who some call more hawkish than Netanyahu, spoke at the Washington Institute for Near East Policy last week.
Iran is continuing to advance toward military nuclear capability, and it's heading towards a major breakthrough. Our estimation is that already by 2009, Iran will reach enrichment capability, and as soon as 2010, we'll have the option to reach at military levels.
These claims by Israeli politicians about Iran's desire for nuclear weapons come in spite of the fact that the U.S. National Intelligence Report last November stated that Iran had halted its nuclear weapons program in 2003. The UN's IAEA inspectors have found no evidence of a continuation of Iran's nuclear weapons program. A report in Haaretz from October 26, 2007 states that Tzipi Livni, in a series of closed discussions, that in her opinion, Iranian nuclear weapons do not pose an existential threat to Israel. Unlike Iran, Israel is not a signatory to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Most experts estimate that Israel has between 100 and 200 nuclear weapons, and former President Jimmy Carter said in May 2008 that Israel has 150 or more nuclear warheads.